RCRA includes 4 distinct programs designed to implement its goals. First, it encourages states to develop plans to manage non-hazardous household waste. Second, it establishes a cradle-to-grave system for monitoring and controlling the disposal of hazardous waste. The system of paperwork of monitoring such disposal is called a manifest system. Third, it regulates underground storage tanks through a program called the Underground Storage Tank, or UST program. Fourth, the EPA has conducted a new demonstration program to track medical wastes from generation through disposal. In Subtitle D of RCRA, states are encouraged to implement their own solid waste management plans. This has become increasingly difficult for states due to at least 2 factors. First, with population growth and the increased use of disposable products, the amount of waste being generated each year is increasing dramatically. Second, there is a phenomenon that has been labeled the NIMBY syndrome. NIMBY stands for Not in My Backyard. Our present solid waste disposal sites are being filled quickly. Most are filled to capacity within 20 or fewer years after their opening. Yet because of opposition of local residents, it has become extremely difficult for private waste disposal companies or local municipalities to find locations for and open new facilities for disposal of such wastes. No one wants to live next to or near such a site. As a result, in the 1984 Hazardous and Solid Waste Amendments, Congress authorized the EPA to take a more active role in assisting the states in handling non-hazardous waste landfills. The EPA has been working on strategies to deal with disposal of household wastes. In Subtitle C of RCRA, Congress established a cradle-to-grave system for management of hazardous wastes. Pursuant to Subtitle C, the EPA has issued criteria for identifying hazardous wastes, and in turn, it has used those criteria to issue a list of those wastes that are considered to be hazardous for purposes of administering the RCRA. That list is published in the Federal Register and is updated periodically. As a part of this cradle-to-grave system, the EPA was directed to issue 3 sets of standards regulating 3 sets of parties. 1. Generators, who produce hazardous waste. 2. Transporters of the waste. And 3. Those who own and operate disposal sites. The EPA has issued standards regulating how generators handle, label, and store hazardous wastes. Similar standards cover transporters of hazardous wastes. A transporter must obtain a license or permit for hauling of wastes, and that license will cover only specified types of waste, depending on whether the transporter has met the EPA's requirements for each type. Likewise, any facility accepting hazardous waste for disposal must obtain a license or permit from the EPA, in which the EPA specifies what kinds of hazardous waste can be accepted by the facility. Such facilities are subject to extensive regulation by the EPA covering location and construction of the site, as well as its ongoing operation. As a precondition to issuance of licenses and permits to transporters or owners or operators of sites, the EPA applies extensive standards and regulations to those parties. Tying together the EPA's regulation of generators, transporters, and owners or operators of sites is the manifest system. A manifest is a set of paperwork that accompanies each batch of hazardous waste from the generator through any and all transporters and to the site of ultimate disposal. The disposal site might be better conceptualized as the site of permanent storage because such wastes never go away. In some cases, however, waste may be treated to reduce hazards or to recover materials for reuse. The RCRA and the EPA refer to disposal sites as treatment, storage, and disposal facilities. The manifest is a form that is obtained from the EPA and its state's counterpart in states that have been authorized to administer RCRA. The manifest form includes 5 or 6 copies of a form with copying materials in between. The generator fills out his or her portion of the form, identifying the waste to be hauled, keeps a copy, and conveys the remaining copies to the transporter. It should be noted that this manifest system affects most businesses in this country. Any company generating 1/2 of a 50-gallon barrel of hazardous waste or more per month must comply with the manifest system.
Created using Powtoon.